Me mo bibia kwaba eba Melodies TV so. Ghana edwadefo catch President Akufo-Addo. This time they almost say enyama bebre akoso wo Ghana. Omo ayekum omo mfi na we de edutwem omo ntena se enhe ema de President Akufo-Addo ahya ase a wo ye no ana de wo ye a wo de kono ombehwe no wa ye dabi ombe kaseti a obebisa se ana Melody say asembe nini na sa 7 days VAT ya sorry me say 7 days VAT ya aban ede to electricity so no 15% to 20% VAT ya ede to electricity so no enende dwedefo asori a wo mo catch President Akufo-Addo so wo mo man 7 days only answers na adwin yi sa de ne mfi so kra na wanya de besi metremo de omoka se ebesi no. Now this is TUC in some wamoka. Yenko kinkan. Or see, the Trades Union Congress has issued a 7-day ultimatum to the government demanding the withdrawal of the imposition of value-added tax on electricity consumption beyond the lifeline threshold. Now, may I explain it? Na matretre nyama na nkrofati asiye lifeline threshold na aban eka ho asem no. Also, the Secretary General of TUC, Dr. Yaoban, stressed on the detrimental impact of this move on the livelihoods of ordinary Ghanaians, particularly pensioners and those with low incomes. To Tremwa, VAT yede to electricity sui, yade bia ebe affect especially pensioners, eni omwa omunsheda enye juma papa bia enye sika papa bia wa Ghana no. Also, during a press conference on Tuesday, January 23rd, Dr. Ba emphasized that the impoverished population in the country cannot afford to bear the additional tax burden. He called on the government and its agencies to promptly retract the implementation of the proposed tax. Also, it is always the poor people in this country, including pensioners, who bear pensioners, including pensioners, who bear the brunt. And we should not allow that to continue. Organized labor, we have come together and our message to the government is very simple. We cannot pay VAT on electricity. We will not pay it today or tomorrow. Organized labor is demanding the immediate withdrawal of the letter and another directive from the finance minister to Ghana Great Company, ECG, to stop the implementation of the VAT on electricity. We are giving the government up to January 31st, 2024 to withdraw the letter, Dr. Yaoban said. He emphasized that they will take the necessary action if the finance minister does not instruct GridCo and ECG to retract the letter. So almost say action be on beteki, necessary action be on beteki. The finance minister no withdraws our letter ya what the Abba say ye implemented our VAT. I say if by that time the Minister of Finance fails to give directive to GridCo and ECG, we will advise ourselves, he said. In a letter dated January 1st, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta instructed the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NETCO, to implement the VAT with the goal of generating revenue for the COVID-19 revenue program. Also, the government has outlined the rationale for the imposition of a 15% VAT on electricity consumption. This measure is part of the government's COVID-19 recovery program aiming to generate additional revenue. Also, Deputy Energy Minister Ejapa Mensah, speaking in an interview with City FM on Monday, January 15th, emphasized that while it was a challenging decision, it is necessary to settle debts owed to independent power producers. Blah 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 blah. Can't answer no. So basically, no. Utie TUC in some or more threatening aban say omo man 7 days on withdraw. Now for people who don't know, say 15% VAT on electricity a year cano. Utie aban some worker was say threshold and your threshold and your threshold. But listen to something. Threshold now wo mo no technically no. E just say wo bia uyusu light bulb ba akope. Ewo fie for the whole month. Open as a sebe 15% yi untia. So we use light bulb baku mienu a most ankrofo no and as a 15% threshold no and just a more na muntia. But if you use more than light bulb 2, e wo fie. We use fan, we use fridge, ye de ubetia. Into technically ni ye ka Ghana for say over 90% of Ghanaians 15% VAT ya yede to electricity esui obi abetia. Technically that's what they are telling us. Na utie ahase o share the article ahase ejapamesa a ye deputy minister energy minister na ositio. Obviously, if you look at the scope of the tax and what it is intended to do, raise revenue to meet some obligations of the government in the energy sector, it will interest you to know that as we speak, as of July 2023, the amount of money that we owe to the IPPs alone is in the region of 1.7 billion. Here, Adia Bakwan, Abai one of the things that I personally don't like about them, and they say, so more babe increase BBR, always no, as same way no more can. Oh, Ghana for, ye can ya ne boy ding, ye pesi ye tum, ni ye tuma. Embra mo be ka tre ye mo de letter ne buy no IMF and a mo boy and the ebane say now energy minister deputy ebe ka tre say ye car e da ho and no huntin ye di 15% tax to so that e ka no ye de akwa akotia mo ka tre say IMF nhihye ya akono IMF asem a wo ka tre ye no and then de akwa akoda ne ka which one. The finance minister releasing the letter is blaming IMF. Let me show you finance minister. Finance ministry letter on 15% VAT on electricity. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Someone may this no, this is not the story. They now are more breaking news now. Eba, I see VAT on electricity won't bed in Ghanaian so for yata. Mo dear own. Mo sa the Nyankupon who can for yata we over and say VAT on electricity will not burden Ghanaians. Oh, only neti. Only neti. Where is the letter? I say the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Northern Electricity Distribution Company are hereby requested to liaise with Ghana Revenue to ensure that the implementation of VAT for blah 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 maximum consumption block blah 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 blah. Now, also to be clear, the VAT is still excluded for a supply of electricity. According to the ministry, this is part of the execution of government's medium-term revenue strategy. So this is the letter TU. Letter now when we release it January on electricity. No, letter no when they did was it last year, late last year. But letter no T. Asemo kind. Or say, according to the ministry, this is part of the execution of the government's medium-term revenue strategy, as well as the International Monetary Fund supported post-COVID-19 program for economic growth. So, in one breath, you mention IMF. After more by and say a car a daho and a moditia. And you see the funny enough, every quarter they will also increase electricity bill. And then this is the same thing they will tell us. A care daho, a care daho, a care daho. And the answer. You see, for Montreal, your comment box. It